Welcome into the UFC Fight Night. Tsarukyan versus the Hangman Hooker. I got MMA Jeff here for the sports money breakdowns. We've got two spots we're going to talk to you guys about on this UFC card. We're going to give you guys a parlay at the end of the show, and we need to bounce back, Jeff. Last week, not our best in sides. We did cash our parlay. We did get some plus money on the parlay, Jeff. This is an early card. Are you fired up? Are you ready to attack the UFC Saturday morning?
Yeah, we got 14 bouts, waiting to see these weigh-ins as always. But, Qatar usually comes to shine. We usually get some Judge Effery playing around there. And, there's some good fights. I'm excited for it. We got the early card I'm not too thrilled about. But I like to watch some of the Friday night fights. But I'll tell you what, I think it's going to be a good action-packed card for sure.
Looks like they will try to put on a as we got close to the end of the year that we would see some fun shenanigans out there. I'll tell you what, I was having a fun time with UFC 322 until we got to the co-main and the main event. Not my style, not my thing. And I guess we'll have to determine how do they value wrestling and all that kind of slap each other around on the ground as it relates to a couple of these, because there's definitely some wrestling notice on these guys here, but still it looks like a really strong card. We're going to talk about the Spivac Gaziev spot. That's going to be the one that MMA Jeff handles. I'm going to talk about Almakhan Topuria. They're all named Topuria, Jeff. Got any fights you're looking for on this card that stand out to you as standing bangers? Anything that you're going to get really excited about other than the one we're going to break down?
Yeah, I'm actually excited for the Menefield fight. I'm excited to see how that one plays out. I see there's a lot of action on the other side. The fight that I'm going to talk about here with the Gaziev side of things, I'm just scrolling through to see what other ones are out there. I see there's a lot of action going against the Loader fight. I'm excited about. I think there's going to be some pretty good bangers out there. I don't think we're going to see a lot of laying and praying, but we'll see. There's been a lot of submissions the last couple of weeks in the UFC. It seems like more so than throughout the season.
We're going to take you guys through this journey. This is the second prep video here on Sports Bunny for you guys in the UFC fight card weekend. Our guys, VB MMA Picks and Ramon Scott went out and recorded the first three fight breakdown for you guys on this card. That's already out there, available for you to consume. We're going to get into it here, and the whole purpose is to try to help you guys with some tape study, with some line movement anticipation, and trying to get the best CLV before Saturday. So with that said, MMA Jeff, take us to the first fight in Spivac Gaziev. Who's winning this one?
Yeah, we got UFC Tsarukyan versus Hooker. I'm going to roll through the Gaziev Spivac fight. This should be a pretty solid heavyweight battle between number 9 ranked Spivac and you got number 12 ranked Gaziev. Spivac's got the slight age advantage here with 5 years. They're about the same height. I think Gaziev does have him by 1 inch, and there's a slight reach advantage for the Gaziev side of things. Spivac 17-6 as a pro with 8 wins coming in the UFC. Now, he was 6-0 as an amateur. He did, as a pro, but in the minor leagues, he did jump into the UFC, and that's where he got his 6 losses. So he is sitting at 8-6 in the UFC. He's fighting the better competition, as we all talk about on a regular basis. You get into that UFC out of these lower promotions, and you tend to either get your ass kicked or prove your worth. But despite his average UFC career or his UFC record, he's fought the better opponents, as I mentioned. He fought Waldo, and he lost by unanimous decision. He fought Jalton. He got knocked out. He fought Cyril Gane. He got knocked out. He fought Aspinall. He got knocked out. He fought Tybura, and he got the loss by unanimous decision. So, again, he's fought in some pretty tough competition out there. We'll see what he can do against the Gaziev side of things. He's just an okay striker. He's got some pretty decent grappling out there, but he doesn't have a lot of power behind his punches. His KOs or his finishes from KO have generally come from knocking his opponent down and just kind of ground and pounding it out and getting the refs to, ultimately stop the fight, just overwhelming with the punches to get the ground and pound finishes. You don't really see him standing on the feet and hitting that KO shot. He is a decent wrestler. He will look for submissions if he does get the opportunity. You got Gaziev on the other side of things. Man, this is a massive dude. He's 6'3", 260 pounds. He's 14-1 as a pro. He's 3-1 in the UFC, coming off back-to-back wins. He got the KO round 1 finish against Peterson in his last fight. Back in April, he ended up getting the UNAM decision win over Mays. I'll tell you what, he looked solid in that one as well. Gaziev, he is a big physical striker who will throw wild and heavy shots to try to look for that KO. He's got lots of power. He certainly can wrestle. He has a couple of submissions on on his resume. He also has certainly more KOs. He does have a handful of decision victories as well. Now, I think he's got the skill in this one to work his game plan the way he wants to, which I'd imagine he's going to try to keep this one on the feet since he is the more powerful and better skilled striker. I think he's going to try to avoid the grappling. He's going to try to prevent cardio issues, which he has had in the past. He will gas out if he's proven to or shown to have to wrestle around and try to get things done on the mat. So I think he's going to try to keep this one on the feet. He's going to fight this one at the pace that he wants, and I think he's going to do exactly what he wants in this one. Overall, I think Gaziev is the better fighter. I think he's got more finishing upside. Spivac's on a bad skid here in the UFC, losing his last two. I don't think this one's going to get any better for him. I'm going to roll with Gaziev by KO at plus 125. Personally, I think he gets this one done early, but I'm on the Gaziev side of things, and I do think he's going to get this one done by KO. And there you have it. That is my breakdown of the Gaziev Spivac fight for the Tsarukyan Hooker fight night. I'm going with Gaziev KO at plus 125. You can find me over at Winnable, MMA Jeff 19. You can find me over at XMMA Jeff 19. Always rolling around sports money. Appreciate you guys, and make sure you join for the live stream on Saturday.
I'm going to give you a breakdown here on the Tsarukyan versus Hooker fight card, UFC Fight Night. And Cutter, I'm going to talk about the Topuria Almakhan spot. And the question is, can the dog bark? Maybe another question is, which one will end up as a dog in this fight? We've seen this line ping pong already. Almakhan opens up as a small favorite. It's moved now with a predominant Tapology decision for Topuria, pushing this thing to Topuria as the favorite. It's not that Topuria. It's Aleksandre Topuria, the older brother of the Topuria clan out there. And a lot of things that you can like about this. Yeah, of course, wrestler. We get it. Greco-Roman style wrestling. Certainly look at recent performances. Topuria goes out there with a thickness. UFC debut on short notice. This is what I want to kind of hone in on with this fight because, yeah, we've had some previous fighters come in here with, short notice making their debuts and just some cards where we haven't had a lot of data. That's a little bit different with this fight. We've got a fight under our belts with Topuria. That was a spot where people are saying he busted him up and it was ugly and all the rest. And the reality is it took a UNAM judge's decision to go out there and award him the victor. So I'm not so quick to judge him and say, wow, he's got that Topuria fighting spirit in him. In fact, might even argue a little bit of the opposite out there. Flip side of things, we look at, and the guy that I want to hone in on here, Bekzat, Almakhan, and 2 fights deep in his UFC career. First one, he goes in on short notice against Umar Nurmagomedov. It turned out that it was a UNAM decision against him. He took his loss on short notice. If you watch the tape back, first round, leg kicking galore. Gets a takedown, gets a knockdown on Umar Nurmagomedov. And then, Umar Nurmagomedov probably realized, holy cow, I better go do what I do, and that's just lay and pray on this guy and try to get that judge's decision, which ultimately did. He had control time and showed that far superior wrestler. Look at take number 2, Brad Katona. This is where I love people say, the guy's never been knocked out. That can't be part of the game plan. And in reality, Brad Katona had never been knocked out until he fights Almakhan. And guess what? What we ultimately saw there is a cardio machine is Almakhan. I talk about that fight against Umar, but then he comes in here on a guy that's never been chinned. He throws a big uppercut and puts him to sleep, puts night. And I think this is a situation where we see the far athletic fighter going to be all over him. He's going to be throwing punches. He'll be trying to get some takedowns. What's impressive to me is his defense and his fight IQ, because you fight a guy like Umar and you're getting top controlled and getting taken down, but you didn't get subbed. And that's impressive to show that you've got that ability to play that defensively oriented UFC game out there. Now he's got a guy that's going to make his second fight in this Topuria side of things here. And what do we know? Well, we know that Topuria is going to try to grapple. We know that he can do that wrestling kind of things here, but I don't think this is going to be as easy as he expects. I think that what happened here is what we've seen a lot of times. We see that the dog opens up, the public hammers him, they become the favorite, and then the sharps come back in on fight day to go and take a shot with this plus money price. That's the way I want to get paid with the Almakhan spot. I'm going to take a shot this guy to get it done for us here, and it's a nice plus 120 price tag. I don't see any reason why this isn't a competitive battle. It's going to be a fun battle. I think it's probably going to be a battle that ends up going into the judges' cards as well, but I'm going to take a shot with this guy, and I expect we get this now because by fight day, he'll probably be back in that favorite position. So good luck to you guys. Enjoy the fights. Make sure you smash the thumbs up if you like the video, and we'll be back to do it again. See you live on Saturday for the UFC live stream. Starts at 10.
Yeah, we got Tsarukyan versus Hooker. Going to bring in the first leg of the parlay. Let me tell you, these parlays have been on a heater lately. I'm going to roll with Luke Riley on the money line. I'll tell you what, this kid has been around. He's been an up-and-coming guy in the Cage Warriors. He's been knocking dudes out left and right, and he's managed his way to get to a couple of decisions, but he is 11-0. He is undefeated, and he's coming into the UFC to fight Bogdangrad. I'll tell you what, I'm pretty high on Luke Riley in this one. I don't think he's I think he's going to torch Bogdan personally. I don't know if he's going to knock him out necessarily, but I do think he is going to get the win. So I'm going to roll with leg one of the parlay. Luke Riley. Mike, show us some leg two.
Yeah, this is a great opportunity to take some of this big juice, and regardless of the finish, we just need the fighters to get it done. I'm going to look at Orlave here as the guy to go out there and figure it out. Look, two things going on. One, we've got the 7-year, the younger fighter, Jeff. You know how much that's been cashing for us. We got 10 years, as a matter of fact, here with a 37-year-old on the other side in Hermanson. He's 1-2. He's been knocked out a couple of times. His only victory was a decision. And the thing you got to look at on the Orlave side of things here is a guy that's literally built out of stone and granite. His only loss coming as a split decision. So it was a close one, even though he took the L. I think what happens here is we see a man's man come out there, put this guy to work. He's not going to play around with his food. I suspect he'll win this thing inside the distance as well. But let's take the juice down on these guys. Let's take that Riley spot. Let's take the Orlave spot. Let's make it minus 102, and let's see if we can keep the heater going, Jeff. Tell them what's up. Tell them where they can find you.
I can always find me over at Sports Money, but you can find me at X and Winnable MMA Jeff 19. And hope you guys join us Saturday for the live stream. And good luck with your bets.
Happy fight week one and all. I hope you guys find some value out of this video. If you did, hit the thumbs up for us. Like and share it. Subscribe to the channel. You never want to miss this content when we drop these plays for you guys. And we'll be back, as Jeff said, live Saturday. It's going to be an early fight card, 10:30 a.m. We'll see you guys there. I hope you have a great fight week. Good luck with all your betting. Leave a note in the comments. Tell us your favorite fight of the week. And we'll see you guys on Saturday. Have a great night. Take care, everybody.